Hey, what's going on, fam? What's going on? I'm back. Third video in a row on the same day. So I fell off, being busy with the weekend, family, friends, all that love and stuff. But I'm back. I don't have much of a word of the day, but I do have a book I'm going to introduce that I'm going to be working on how to add in, not quotes, but a little bit of quick history and stuff like that. That probably good. I'm going to stick with the quotes of the day and also word of the day, and then try to add some Black history of the day type. I'm not gonna get into to it too deep, but this is the book that will be. It says Black people invented everything, and it's like a quick little kind of give you some history on people that invented stuff, which I feel like is very important, and to show some love to my community and ancestors and people that shout out, because a lot of people don't know. People still think that, people like, Jack Daniels, invented something, for example, but when it was a black guy that created it, and then the guy, even though they were seen pretty close when it comes to the story, which that was actually a pretty decent, I think it was a documentary or something I saw years ago. But stuff that that black people were very involved in, and a lot of people don't know, like Ford and cars, and there's more to that, light bulb and more to that. Those are quick short examples and stuff. But that book, I'm gonna try to slide in some quick history information on that, and that so that could be like a some history of the day or something like that. And because as I went, I know it's a lot of different books we're going through, same days, different times, stuff like that. But the thing is, the more you read, the more you grow and learn. And me, my main things are, of course, politics and history, but I do have a lot to add in when it comes to science, mathematics, and engineering, agriculture, and stuff like that. So I want to try to have a book for every subject to focus on. And I know it might could get all over the place at times, but this is a book club, and it's about getting these books through, and then I could post a book and be like, I finished this book, and I learned what I learned about this book, because that's been one of my main things. I buy a lot of books, and they might sit around the house, and no, I'm trying to run through these books and build this brain of mine, get this work. It's like me running track again. I'm trying to get faster, I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to get smarter. um but today I'm going to focus back onto raising your child's financial IQ. I read a little bit into the next chapter and finish up the last chapter as well. So I will be on the what chapter am I? I forgot, I'm reading so much. So I'm on chapter 3 now, and the chapter 3 is choose what you want to be when you grow up. I'm going to read some quotes from chapter 2, finishing up the chapter 2, because it was some good stuff, and I just want to throw it out there. So just some quick notes. It says, between the age of 5 and 14, a child begins developing what we in educational psychology often refer to as the child's winning formula. It's the formula that the child believes he or she can best win at the game of life. Obviously, it's very important and a delicate period of life, and needs to be approached with great care and love. So your child is around that age. It's a time your child is learning, your child is listening to everything going on around. But what I take from that is that it's a developing time that you really want to focus on, and do some deep diving on when it comes to your child. The next quote in the book says, the child may adopt the belief that he or she is not as smart as others. So okay, so I'm gonna go back, because no, that's a little further back. This is the next part. If a child should have a bad experience in school, that experience may set the tone for the rest of his or her school years. The child may make decisions on how he or she plans to win or lose in this environment called school. Many times, if a child is labeled stupid or slow by either parent or instructor, the child may adopt the belief that he or she is not as smart as other children. So, for example, what I take from that is that I don't care how slow my child learns or how smart another child is, but I want to teach my child on their pace, in school sometimes kind of makes it a competition. And you have to really pay attention to your child, because your child might not be like, I remember some kids way back in elementary school, and they went to high school with some of them as well. And I remember one person was a straight A. I remember two girls actually was a straight A student, and they actually turned out pretty good. Last time I heard from them or saw them, pretty smart people. But they had those parents in their lives that really supported them. And I saw them at all the little, things when kids get the awards and stuff in elementary school, stuff like that. Which is a good thing. This is no bashing, but I do remember another person that was very smart as well. A few other people was very smart, and they turned out not so good. But it starts out with the support of the parents, really, in my opinion. That's when it gets to that. Um, Next part: the lifelong consequences of such early events can be devastating. So it's you can really crush your child basically, as well as the world crushing your child. Um, Next one. So the years between 5 and 14 are very important years. As an educational psychologist, I would say that what is most important during this period is that a child feel loved and have fun. So I highlighted that one because I feel that a child definitely should have fun and feel loved. And what I've seen in my life is that a lot of children growing up, get a lot of love. And I feel like I had, pretty decent love. Pretty decent love. I just feel that parents today, in my opinion, I feel like they're giving their children a little bit of extra over loving, like they could live their life for their child, and then not teaching their children anything. They're just giving them and giving them and giving them and giving them and giving them, and they're making them weak and making them not be able to do anything, because no matter how young the child is, especially like when that baby start walking and talking, but no matter how young, they're learning every day and growing. I go back to my child. He's 4 months. Yeah, he's still on the bottle and on the booby and stuff like that, but he's still learning, and he's looking and observing all the time, and I know he's learning. It's so obvious. He might be, I get family, oh, he's such a baby, oh my gosh. But one thing I look at him as his father is that he's learning. So if I just pick him up and hold him every 5 seconds, he whines and cries, I'm just, to me, in my opinion, and most of the time he's hungry anyway, but all he does is eat, sleep, and poop. But I still try to test out some stuff to make, I'm not going to be running fast while he's in his little swinger all the time. And just, I may mess with him a little bit, like 1 minute, 2 minutes or something like that. And then I might go get him, but because I want to teach him to be, a little stronger. I feel like kids are just, everybody, as soon as they fall down, mommy want to run and go get them. Back in the day, I fall down, I got some scars and stuff from walking on fences and stuff like that. But my mama ain't running to go put no band-aids on me. But that's just, it's taking some time, but with people's day. The next part is, it says start a part-time business. Okay, I'm going into a little deep. Okay. I would often recommend people keep their daytime job but start a part-time business at home, so they can start to take advantage of the same tax advantages that business owners enjoy. That was something I just mentioned. I got to look more into that one. This book is, gets you all over the place at times. It says the tax laws are different from income derived from each of the four quadrants. So the main thing, I just wanted to read a few quotes from the last chapter, just so I want, some stuff I highlighted. But the main thing I wanted to get into was the cash flow quadrants, which I've known for years now and about, without even having this book, just from the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. These quadrants are very important to me, and I feel like they should be important to anybody, because these quadrants most people are in when it comes to work. So basically, I'm not going to get, too... No, I'm definitely going to explain quadrants, but I just want to make sure I highlight any more quotes. Let's learn how to work with people in all four quadrants. So I like that quote. That's why I highlighted that one. One thing you must learn how to work with people in all four quadrants, which is something I always did kind of forget. But I will explain the quadrants. So I had a highlighter. I don't want to lose my page, but I know the quadrants off the top of my head, so I wouldn't need a book to talk about the quadrants. Even though, hold on 1 second, gotta scoot over some. Yeah, I got the there's a little marker there. So we got the E and the S. This is the S. Oh, that's now it's working pretty smooth actually. S, E, S, and B. B, B. And then we got the I. And a little my sloppy handwriting. But those are the quadrants right there. And everybody falls in these quadrants. And me, reason why I don't need a book about these quadrants, because I know about the quadrants. I know enough to at least explain them to you, because I've learned this before, mastered it enough to know the basics of the quadrants. And I carry them with me. So the E stands for employee, which most people, have a 9 to 5. They work a 9 to 5, or you work at Checkers, work at Buffalo Wild Wings, work at a government building, work as a police officer, stuff like that. 9 to 5. That's the basis, and you're employed. The S quadrant is self-employed. Self-employed, to me, for a good example for self-employed, I would say would be Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. A lot of new stuff today. Postmates, all stuff. Self-employment. B is business owner. So business owner, I would say, for example, a business owner is, it's a good basic example. I was gonna say Walmart, but that's big up there. But even though it is a business owner, the Walmart family, Sam Walton, owned the business, passing on to his kids, blah blah blah. But like owning a restaurant. Owning a restaurant, I know I love this vegan place called Everlasting Life, because I'm a vegan as well, and it's a black owned business, and the owner's been there for years, and the business owner, he's a business owner, and he owns three of them. I want to say Northwest DC, Southeast, and also Capitol Heights, Maryland. He has people working for him. They have a 9 to 5, and they work for him, and he's there sometimes. He'll help out and stuff like that, but he's running the business. That I think that's a decent example. But I'm gonna get back to that one. The I is investor. So most people would say, like I would use for example, an investor is, I have a brother. He invests in crypto and stock and stuff like that, and forex. I would say trading, investing. But a better example of an investor, I would say, is someone like a Robert Kiyosaki, a Trump, or come across my mind Ronnie DeVoe, a real estate investor, a key person, a part of New Edition. I read a little bit about him. He after his music career, got into investing. A lot of famous people. A lot of small people too. Also, family members I have in the real estate. Buying houses, one of my main goals. Fixing and flipping, stuff like that. Investor. But now I'm gonna break down the goals. So yeah, I'm back. Because I don't have to hold that, but I just want to show you the E, and the E, the S, and the I, and the B, and explain it what it is. I do have some small things to explain it much better than me, which I can break it down without the book. For example, I know the I. Let me see what's a good one, because I want to read it out, because people learn better from people that are more, on a higher level, and also is teaching it. So a person tends to be from the E quadrant will often say, I'm looking for a safe, secure job. A safe, secure job. What are the benefits, or when will I get a raise? That is basically it's a 9 to 5 employment. They're looking for good retirement, stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. A person from the S quadrant will often be heard saying something like, my hourly rate is $100 per hour, or my commission is 6% of the entire sales price. My rich dad would say, these people think that they have a business, but they really own a job. So what I get from that, because I know the quadrants, and I just wanted to share these quadrants. These quadrants are very important. So the self-employment, what I get from, because I've done Uber, done Lyft, stuff like that before. The only thing you're taking out with the self-employment is you're taking out a boss, but you're not free. You're not free from being employed. You're still running around out there grinding for $300 in a day. You know, driving and dropping people off, tired as hell. Like you basically work a job. I mean, just like you work your own 9 to 5. Even though it might be decent money and better money, I mean, it might be different with taxes, but you just got to learn these things. Now, the B, business owner. So, my goal is one day to have a business, but my goal is to have the business work for my itself. I don't want to be able to, like, say for example, I want a barbershop one day and I want to own a barbershop. I'm no barber. I don't want to be a barber. But my thing is I like the business of barbering. Like, I like people, also hair salon. I like that. I like the money. It's quick money, comes in every day. But I could probably advertise my brand or make it bigger brand, and show people that my team that I built do great work and they're good stylists and barbers. Um, the thing with that is that my thing is I'm not a barber. I'm not staying on my feet at a chair one day. To me, he's self-employed. But my thing would be a business owner, own the shop, and I'm getting paid from everybody's booth rent and paying the bills and handling the bigger things, which is possible. And which is doable. I mean, it's possible, doable, and I don't need to be a licensed barber to own a barbershop. And that's a good example of a business owner compared to a self-employed employer, a person that's self-employed, which is a great example of a barber. Like a barber, they still got to make and grind that, get that money, but I would be making positive cash flow off of them monthly. Well, actually weekly, booth rent. But of course, I still have to pay bills and see where my money comes in. Now, the next one will be investor. So, investor, I would say, is a good example of. So, even though that's a great example that I just used, but I'm gonna go off of investor, like as in I invest in homes. So, one of my other goals, I want to get my real estate license, and real estate is more of a self-employed job as well. But you have a goal to be a business owner, build a business, and let it work for you, and then also become an investor. So my thing with real estate, you kind of could be all over the place, but once you get, it's like you starting at self-employment, definitely never employee, starting at self-employment, then you work your way to being a business owner, maybe like a broker, or it doesn't even have to be a broker. You can just be an investor, go into straight investing and get out the whole the broker side and stuff like that. So my thing is I will buy houses. I invest in a house. It could be a house, Baltimore, for $30,000, $40,000, and maybe hire a contractor, fix it up, and then flip it, and then sell it. It also could be me. Like I have a house, I rent it out. I have let me see, hold on. I have 3 houses and I rent them out. The upstairs and the basement on both of them, it could be, for example, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. That's 3 houses. So, for example, that would be 6,000 a month. From multiple people renting out rooms in the upstairs and the basement, the upstairs and the downstairs. So that's a good example of investing. And then the money's working for me every month. The cash flow's coming in monthly. And that's a good example of the cash flow quadrant. Now, the cash flow quadrants are a good basic of understanding where you fit in, and also set your goals on where you want to be at. Like me, of course, my goal and everyone's goal, in my opinion, what I'll say is should want to be on the right side of the quadrants. The left side of the quadrants, you're working forever. But of course, if you found passion for your job and you love it, you want to work a 9 to 5 forever, there's nothing wrong with that. Go for it and live your life, and accomplish your dreams. Everybody's not built for being a business owner or an investor. everybody's not, that's not their dream and passion. So I definitely understand. You know, people can find just working with kids with art and something like that, and that's what they love. But my goals are to be on the right side of the quadrants, and I will not stop that at all. And my goal is to continue fighting for that and keep on getting better and smarter than that. And that's basically the basics of the quadrants. When you learn the quadrants, you at least know where you fit in at, and then you can go and start from there and go build and chase dreams on where you want to end up at. But that's what I got for you today. That's the last one for today. Y'all have a wonderful day and enjoy your holiday, and peace.